Hello, I'm Matt and welcome to Badger Workshop. Last time I cleaned up an old leg vise and now I'm going to make a stand for it. What I've got is a load of these pine slats, so I'm going to run them all through the thicknesser and clean up both sides of them. When I've got them all done, I can get them laid out and some glue put on and spread out on them. I'm going to be laminating these together to make a post about 150mm square. Making it out of such small material is time consuming and it'd really speed it up to start with some thicker material. But this is what I had on hand and I wanted to use it. So when I've got the glue all spread out, I can get all the bits put together and clamped up. As I say, I want this to be 150mm square, so I've made this probably more like 160mm and then I can plane it down later. I keep doing this until I've got 5 sections like this glued up, and then I do a 6th one a bit thicker, which I'm going to use for a base. After a few days of doing this, because of my limited clamp situation, I can then get one surface of them all planed down. I can then get the machine reconfigured into thicknessing mode and get them passed through, so we've got 2 clean and parallel faces. I've measured the leg vise and worked out how high I need the stand to be, so now I can trim up one end of these blocks and get them all cut down to their final length. Now I can get all these pieces laminated together to make a post, so I get lots of glue on and spread out, and then I can start stacking them up. I get it all clamped up and then I leave it to dry, and then we can come back and clean up these sides. When it's all dry, I can then plane one face and then turn it 90 degrees and do another face. The other two then get thicknessed so everything comes out square. It now should perfectly be 150mm square, and I need it to be that dimension so it's going to fit perfectly inside this fence post support. So I've got one more piece I glued up, and that's for the base, so now I can get this trimmed down to length. I give both the pieces a quick sand down, not worrying about going up too high with the grits because this is just going to be a stand for a vise. Then I can look at mounting this bracket. So I get it positioned where I want and mark out where the 4 holes in the corners go. I'm going to attach it with some coach bolts, so I want the heads to be recessed into the bottom, so first I'm going to drill down with a Forstner bit. With those 4 holes done, I can then take an 8mm bit and drill through the centre of these holes for the bolts to go through. I'm going to stain it all black with some India ink for no other reason than it looks cool. With the ink dryer, I can start getting it put together. So through the bottom, I've got these coach bolts that I just push in and give a little tap with the mallet. The fence post support goes over these bolts. I can get a washer on, the nuts on, and get it tightened up. You can see the base is a bit uneven where it's got bent in the post, but it all pulls flat when I get it tightened down. Now is the moment of truth. Will this post fit? I've made it as snug as I dare because I want it to be nice and stable. So I get it pushed down, bit of wiggling it goes in, but my doorbell falls out my pocket. To get it down the last little bit, I just put a block of wood down and tap it down to the base. Got a couple of bolts on the side that just pull everything really secure. I've got this galvanised wall plate and I'm going to use that to support the post to the vise, so I drill some holes and get it bolted down the same as the post stand. To fit the vise, I've taken this bracket off and then I can drill pilot holes and use some M8 coach screws to hold it in place. With all 4 screws in place, I can get the post of the vise put into that bracket. Then that mounting plate gets slid into the vise itself, and I can get the wedges put back into place. This little bracket has a grub screw, so I thought I might as well tighten that up. And that's it all done. All works pretty well, so when I find out where I finally want to keep it, I'll get it screwed or bolted down to the floor. Thanks for watching, thanks to my Patreons, and please subscribe for more videos.